and they kept the pace really high. They were going over 60 kilometers an hour for the last hour.
Yeah, right. And this is what I'm saying. This started out just a battle for the green jersey, but it clearly it became very clear throughout the race that there was going to be a prolonged risk of crosswinds going into the finish. And this is one of the things about being a GC rider now, and more importantly, being a team that wants to win the Tour de France. You have to become kind of classic specialists, crosswind specialists during the Tour de France, because you never know when a day like this is going to come about. And when you look at these teams who are serious about winning the Tour with 36K to go, when Ineos is just blasting through these roundabouts, you can tell that something's happening. And, whether it's the directors in the rider's ear or just these teams knowing the risks involved, full GC teams are appearing at the front, protecting their riders. Jumbo-Visma did an amazing job. They pretty much had their entire outfit charge up to the front when Ineos set that pace. I don't know if any Jumbo-Visma riders missed out on this split, but then you get guys that on teams that are not quite as organized, like Trek Segafredo. They really missed it. Richie Porte, he was at the back when Ineos went to the front, and there's just nothing you can do. Bach Mollema lost time. But you're seeing these teams like Ineos, Jumbo-Visma, Astana were brilliant today. These are teams that are riding together, aware of the fact that you can't win the Tour de France just by being good in the mountains. You have to be organized and aware in the crosswind stages. A couple riders did an amazing job on their own. Julian Alaphilippe, throughout this entire stage, he is showing just what a class of bike racer he is. He's so aware of everything. At the beginning, he was sitting fourth wheel, fifth wheel, sixth wheel, right behind the Jumbo-Visma, or right behind the Bora Hansgrohe team, at the start when Bora Hansgrohe was ripping the field apart. Then Ineos takes the impetus with 30-something K to go, and Julian Alaphilippe is right there on his wheel. He didn't have any teammate support. He was just a rider who could do it on his own today. Another rider, Guillaume Martin of Cofidis, he did not have a lot of team support, but he was right up there at the finish. These are a couple riders to look out for, but the super team Jumbo-Visma and Astana, they were also brilliant. Same with Ineos. This is what it takes to win the Tour de France. You just have to be on your game every minute of the tour because 21 days, it's not just mountains. A lot of drama can happen, and today was a day that's going to shape the GC situation for the rest of the Tour.
Yeah, all the French guys knew that this is a special place of France where there's a special climate event called the Vent d'Automne. And this is the Vent d'Automne Blanc, which is the white version of that wind that blows in from the Mediterranean, hot and dry. And they knew that this was happening. And there's no mistake that a lot of the French guys did very well today. This wind was going to affect the race.
Yeah, that's super interesting. Just and keep in mind, this isn't when the Tour de France normally is. So this is the first I've ever heard of the Vent d'Automne. Thank you for the French lesson. But we're seeing the Tour in a different time of year, different climates. It's a changing of the seasons. So already it's a different Tour de France than we have seen in years past. Let's get into the winners and losers today. Big winner, Wout van Aert. He got let off the leash again. Second stage win. Absolutely unbelievable. He is showing his class in the field sprints. I personally didn't think that he was going to get many opportunities for stage wins, looking after his Jumbo-Visma teammates for the general classification, but he was there. They had their entire team at the finish, showing the strength and depth that Jumbo-Visma has, where they don't even need Wout van Aert to be shepherding Tom Dumoulin and Primoz Roglic in with 5K to go. He was completely outside of the Jumbo-Visma organization, freelancing around whatever sprinters were left, and all their GC guys were so cool, so calm and collected at the finish. They didn't even need him.
Well, what's amazing to me about Van Aert is that he shows the maturity of a highly tuned, mature sprinter. He surfed the wheels. He was boxed in with like 300, 400 meters to go, and most guys would say, I'm out of it. Suddenly it opens up to the right, and with 200 meters to go, that's when he starts coming around guys. I mean, you don't normally see that level of maturity until a sprinter, has had years and years of experience. So classy, so calm, as opposed to Sagan, who muscles his way through the group in the final few hundred meters. He just seems to try to push his way through and force the gaps, and it's not working for him.
It is not working for him. We're going to get into that in a second. A couple other notable mentions today. I said Guillaume Martin. He moved up into third place. Really, really savvy riding by the French rider. He does not have a lot of support around him on Cofidis. But it was a brilliant ride by Martin, and he is showing that he truly is a threat for the general classification at the Tour de France. He was showing signs of it in the Criterium du Dauphiné, and he is making good on that. Then the Astana team, they deserve a mention. Alexei Lutsenko, already a stage win. And then today, Hugo Howell of Canada, he was so good shepherding Miguel Angel Lopez and Luis Leon Sanchez to the finish. The three of them in the lead group, they were not bothered by the wins. They capitalized on it. I think that Miguel Angel Lopez is showing some really promising signs for the overall